A nice feature of digital photography is the ability to instantly play back your images on the LCD monitor. There's no more waiting hours or days to have your film developed to see how you did. Both photographs and movies can be viewed on the LCD monitor at any time by pressing the Playback button. The most recently taken image, or the last one you viewed, will be shown first. You can view other images stored on the memory card by using the left and right arrow buttons on the multi-selector to go backward or forward. You can always tell which image you're looking at on the card by noting the numbers that are displayed in the upper right-hand corner. The digits to the left of the slash tell you the current image number, and the digits to the right of the slash tell you the total number of images and/or video clips that are stored on the memory card. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the folder where the image is stored, the file name, the image quality and size settings, and the time of day and date that it was taken. Whenever you're playing back images, they can be viewed individually, as seen here, or as thumbnails by pressing the thumbnail button. You can choose to show 4 images per page, 9 images, 72 images, or even use the calendar mode to sort files by the date they were taken. Let's use the Playback Zoom In button to go back to the thumbnail page that shows only 4 images. Notice that each photo is individually numbered, and a bar on the right side of the screen tells you approximately where you are in relation to the rest of the photos stored on the card. The arrow buttons on the multi-selector can be used to navigate through the images. When you find a photo that you want to view full screen, just press the OK button to exit the thumbnail view. And if full screen view isn't good enough to see the details, for example, if you want to check to see if an image is sharply focused, you can press the Playback Zoom In button repeatedly to magnify the image. And then you can use the arrow buttons to move around the frame in order to see other parts of the photo. To decrease the magnification, press the thumbnail button repeatedly to zoom back out. Or just press the OK button at any time to immediately return to the normal full screen view. If you happen to see a picture that's not worth keeping, why not get rid of it? You can do that easily enough by pressing the Delete button, and a confirmation screen will appear. Press the Delete button again to confirm the deletion, and the picture is gone, so do be careful. However, for just the opposite situation, if you've got an important image on the memory card that you want to prevent from being accidentally deleted, press the Protect button. Whenever you see the key icon overlaid on any picture, that means it's locked and can't be deleted unless, of course, you reformat the entire memory card. To unprotect an image, just press the Protect button again. The playback screen we've been looking at so far is called the File Information Display. To view additional data about a photo, you can press either the up or down arrow buttons to switch to the Overview Data display. Now we've added quite a bit of metadata about the image, and even a histogram for checking the exposure. But that's not all you can show. Let's press the Menu button, go to the Playback Menu tab, choose the Display Mode menu, and now we are presented with 4 additional playback display options to choose from. Let's put check marks in all 4 of the boxes to turn them on, and then select Done to lock in the changes. Next, let's press the Playback button to go back to the playback mode. And now you can see the display has changed a little. Notice that the autofocus point that was used to set the focus when the photo was taken is superimposed over the picture. This can be an excellent learning tool when it comes to analyzing your pictures, especially when you've got one that isn't sharply focused. Also, instead of just having 2 playback screens to choose from, we now have 5. I can cycle through them all by pressing the up or down arrow buttons. There's File Information, Overview Data, Shooting Data Page 1, Shooting Data Page 2, Shooting Data Page 3, an RGB histogram, and a display mode called Highlights. Notice the flashing white areas in the picture. That's called highlights. It's the camera's way of warning you that part of your image is nearly pure white and therefore possibly overexposed. Now that's not necessarily anything to worry about, and depending on the subject of your picture, it might be perfectly acceptable. The camera is merely bringing it to your attention so that you are aware of it. When you see highlights flashing, sometimes you'll want to adjust the exposure settings and shoot the picture again to avoid overexposure. Why don't we jump back to the playback menus again and take a look at some of the other menu options. Let's begin at the top of the page and work our way down. The Delete menu is handy when you want to erase several images at once. You have the choice of deleting only selected pictures, deleting all the pictures taken on a certain date, or all of the pictures in the current folder, except, of course, any photos that have already been protected. The next menu choice is Playback Folder. With the D7000, you can segregate your pictures on the memory card into various folders to organize them by subject, date, location, or whatever criteria you choose. Then you can use the Playback Folder setting to designate whether you are playing back images from all the folders at once or just a selected folder. I recommend you change this setting to All so that you're always viewing every picture that's stored on the memory card. If you don't, you increase the chances of accidentally reformatting a card that has pictures on it that you may have forgotten about. Images that are stored on the memory card can be hidden from view. This function is handy when you don't want to display certain images during a slideshow. Now, we already saw how the Display Mode menu can be used to control how much metadata is shown during playback. So let's continue down to Copy Images. This menu allows you to copy images from one memory card to the other card. This function is only available if you have 2 memory cards loaded in the camera. Image Review controls whether or not your images are displayed on the monitor automatically right after you shoot them. In the default mode, the D7000 does not show your pictures on the monitor right after they are taken. You have to press the Playback button manually every time you want to see the last photo. So if you prefer to have your pictures automatically displayed right after you press the shutter button, then turn this on. Next, After Delete controls which picture will be shown next immediately after you delete a photo that you were looking at on the monitor. Rotate Tall can be turned on so that the camera will display vertical pictures resized and rotated on the monitor for easier viewing right side up. Slideshow allows you to play back images as an automated sequence. The interval that each frame is displayed can be adjusted from 2 to 10 seconds, and that's the only customizable setting. Slideshow is particularly useful when you want to show your pictures on a TV monitor, especially if you use the HDMI jack to connect the camera to a high-definition television. The final playback menu is Print Set. This function allows you to choose a group of images to print straight out of the camera to a compatible printer. Only JPEG photos will work with this function, because RAW files always require processing before you can use them. However, I don't recommend going straight from the camera to a printer. Although the D7000 is an excellent camera, you probably aren't going to get the best results by printing directly to a printer. So unless you need to do quick turnaround on-site printing, you'll get much better results if you transfer the photos into your computer first, and then take a few minutes to do some cropping, sharpening, and other enhancements before you print them.